This week we're leading up to Thanksgiving in Canada, and for some people it's a way for the church to give thanks for the bounty of God's land. Maybe even to give thanks for the abundance that we identified in the last Bible study. For other people, our closeness to the United States might have given a different view of Thanksgiving, where their time is a mixture of folklore and conquest of the land from indigenous peoples. And it may seem strange to have the reading that we have for this Sunday, the story of the golden calf. However, I do think there are some tie-ins for us. Before we get to that, though, I think it would be helpful if we took a moment and paused to think about what we are thankful for. So, our first question. What are you thankful for? I really do encourage you to take a moment to reflect on that and pause the video if you can. Are you thankful for things you've done? Thankful for things that you believe God has given you? What are you thankful for? For this story about the golden calf, we need to set the scene for a moment. God has used Moses to draw Israel out of Egypt and journey to the promised land. They aren't there yet, though. They're still wandering in the desert. And Moses and Aaron are working together to lead God's people. Moses talks to God. Aaron talks to God's people. Moses goes up and down the mountain. Aaron stays below. Going up and down the mountain takes time, and talking with God takes time. So one day, Moses is delayed, and the people get anxious. They want to be protected. They're between Egypt, where there was a certain predictability about life, and the promised land, where there was an abundance of life that they wanted to live into. In between those two spaces is dangerous. As Moses is delayed, the people aren't hearing from God and are afraid. They know that God went before them in the pillars of cloud and fire, and they need another sign. So they appeal to Aaron, and Aaron makes them a calf. I've often wondered about why a calf. Of all of the things that Aaron could have crafted, why a calf? And why does a calf anger God so much? Well, an easy read of it would be that God is angered because there seems to be a breaking of one of the commandments that isn't all that old. This from Exodus 20. You shall not make for yourself an idol, whether in the form of anything that is in heaven above, or that is on the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them or worship them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing children for the iniquity of parents. Remember back to that previous reading? It was Canaan who got punished for Ham's misdeeds. To the third and fourth generation of those who reject me, but showing steadfast love to the thousandth generation of those who keep my commandments. That, again, is a simple enough explanation, but it might actually go deeper than that. This from Harper's Bible Dictionary. A long tradition of a cattle cult exists in the Near East, dating back to the Neolithic times. Best known is the 6th millennium BC cattle shrine at Çatalhöyük in Anatolia. There is also evidence for cattle worship from early Crete. A large number of bovine clay figurines found at the 7th millennium village of Ain Ghazal in Jordan may reflect a similar tradition. It may have been that the image of a calf was chosen because there's a long history in the area of worshipping cattle. And when we feel at a loss, unprotected, unsafe, it's natural for us to revert back to something that we know has brought us comfort in the past. And cattle worship might have been the very thing that brought the nation of Israel their comfort. It might have worked. However, God has other plans for God's people. They are not people to worship cattle. They are people to worship God. Which leads us into this second question of the day. What image or physical thing do you cling to for comfort? Take a moment and pause the video to think about this. For some people, the item may have a religious significance. My dad's family were Roman Catholic, and I'm sure that there are ancestors of mine who found comfort in their rosary. I find comfort in the vestments I've inherited from other pastors, priests, and deacons. What image or physical thing do you cling to for comfort? We'll pick up this conversation in a couple of days, so let these questions sit with you. And if you didn't stop the video to answer the questions, then I encourage you to take some time now. Again, drop me a note. Let's think about thankfulness, about our sources of comfort. And again, I'll see you in a few days. Until then, peace and blessings to you.